Number 3, I have...
What? These are our top 10 players of 2022.
Number 10, Ivan Kunku. The only reason he's not higher is because of the team that he plays for and where they finished this year. He has 37 goals, 16 assists in 58 games, which is crazy. He dragged his team into the top 4 in the Bundesliga, but then in the Champions League, they weren't that good. In the league, overall, they weren't that good. That's why he's so low.
You've almost convinced me to put him in my top 10, but I've got my man himself, kvaratskhelia,
No way.
as number 10. I agree that Nkunku is cracked. Obviously has better stats, but the impact Kvara has had on that Napoli team after Napoli lost literally all their top players, Mertens, Insigne, Koulibaly, all left. From a Napoli team that I think we had predicted to finish outside of Europe, possibly, to now being first in the Serie A, having a 5-point gap. I mean, right now, his stats are 6 goals and 7 assists in the Serie A. In the Champions League, 2 goals and 3 assists, bringing him at a total of 23 games played with 26 goal contributions. But I think the impact that he's had makes him 100% be in the top 10.
The only reason that I didn't put him in here is because it's only been half a year. For me, it's impossible to put someone for half a year. All right, so what's your number 9?
My number 9, I've got someone who was very disappointing in the World Cup, also maybe due to injury. I've got my man Neymar.
Neymar.
He's the third most assists in 2022 with 21. Got the 9th most goals in 2022 at 32. The start of the season that he's had at PSG, of course, let's not take into account the World Cup because he was shit. It's his best ever start.
Best ever start, but there's been 9 players that have been better than him, or even 10 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's had a cracking year, bro.
2021, 2022 wasn't the best for him.
I think he deserves a top 10 place. Not to have him in the top 10 is outrageous.
In my number 9, I have Leao.
Leao.
He's AC Milan's best player in 2022, in my opinion. He was the player of the season in Serie A. He was the best player in the Serie A in the biggest games possible. In the whole season, he's had 15 goals, 20 assists in 56 games, which isn't the best, but they've all been really impactful.
Okay, so who do you have in your number 8 then?
Listen, this might be different, but I have Casemiro. Casemiro is my number 8. The most underrated Real Madrid player in recent history. He won the UCL. He was one of the best Real Madrid players in the UCL. Then at Brazil, the World Cup, best Brazil player for me, best Brazil player. Then he joined Man United. Everyone thought that he was going to be shit, but no, he's been absolutely great. Player of the month. He's won it once. He's just been incredible.
His first part of 2022, even if he won the Champions League, he wasn't the man behind that. I think it was Courtois and Benzema behind
Courtois and Benzema,
And
no way, but you have to have a good midfield. You can't win the
yeah.
Champions League without a good midfield.
I agree, but like I agree that he's underrated, and those stats are a madness. I don't have him in my top 10. I would have put him probably top 15 for sure, but I don't think he deserves top 10. Anyway, bro, in my 8, I've got Rafael Leao. I mean, it's as you said, bro. Like he's been insane. Got better stats than Kvara right now, and everyone's hyping Kvara. I mean, rightly so. He had an amazing start to 2022. He was scoring and assisting. A lot of the games that Milan won at that point of the season was because of Rafael and Theo.
So who do you have in number 7?
As I mentioned before, I got Courtois, bro.
No.
This guy at the start of 2022 was unstoppable. You have to take into account the whole season. No one was getting past Courtois in the Champions League, bro. This guy was fucking insane.
That's one thing.
No, but that's
second
the whole
half,
thing.
he hasn't been great. World Cup, he wasn't great.
I agree. But the World Cup, they played 3 games, and honestly, it wasn't Courtois' fault that they got knocked out. The amount of like crucial saves that he makes.
That Champions League final was insane.
I think he deserves a top 10 spot just for what he's achieved this year.
So in my number 7, I have Lewandowski.
Lewa.
42 goals, 10 assists in 51 games, which is crazy, obviously. Carried Bayern, he's carrying Barcelona, and he carried Poland in the World Cup. He was the only Polish player to do anything.
Number 6 now, right? I've got Mane.
Mane.
Yeah, I have Mane. The 8th most goals in 2022 at 33 in 60 games played. Liverpool were like, what, 4 games away from winning the fucking sextuple or whatever they were fucking on. After Mane's left, Liverpool have been in the mud. I think he's so influential. And look at how well he's integrated into Bayern. Just like that. That just shows you how much of a class player he is. I think he's having a class year.
I think Liverpool's downfall hasn't been down to him. It's been to their midfield. I don't have him. I think he's just outside of the top 10 for me.
No, man. I think he deserves a place in like somewhere in the middle of it.
You're saying he's been better than Leao this season?
Yes.
No way.
Are you serious? This guy's cracked.
Not better than Leao this year, though.
I think so. Who do you have in your number 6?
Number 6, I have another Real Madrid player, Vinicius Jr.
Really?
What the fuck are you looking at?
assisting, goal scoring, creating chances out of nowhere. Remember that goal against Man City where he megged Fernandinho and just ran the whole pitch and just scored against Ederson? That was crazy. He's created so many chances by himself. The best dribbler for me in 2022. He's the main source of productivity alongside Benzema in Real Madrid. He scored the UCL final goal. He had 11 goal contributions in 13 UCL games this year. I think he's been absolutely sensational.
I regret not putting him, but I didn't put him. I think he's cracked.
I think he's been 100% better than Mane this year.
Yeah. I should have put him, but I don't have him, and we move on.
Wow, fraud. So in my number 5, I have the robot, Erling Haaland. He could have been higher, but because of his first 6 months of the year, he's only 5th for me. 46 goals, 8 assists in 43 games. That's fucking crazy. But he's been injured for a lot of games. I just don't see him breaking that top 4. Even though this season in the Premier League, crazy. He scored more goals than 9 other teams in the Premier League. Fastest player to reach 20 goals in the Premier League, but only 5th for me.
My 5th, and I'm not going to repeat the stats. I've got Lewandowski, man. He's top goal scorer of La Liga right now. He's just moved to Barcelona. It's a team of completely new people who don't play with each other, and he still manages to score fucking amazing goals, find spaces. I mean, as you said, he carried Poland in the World Cup. I think 5th is a fair place for him.
Oof, you have Haaland higher than 5th. Damn.
Actually, talking about Haaland, I've got him in 4th. So I think the impact that Haaland's had only for half of this year for City is so monumental that he has to be in this top 10.
So you're telling me you're missing out on another Man City player in your top 10?
Yes.
Oh my days.
Yes.
In 4, I have Kevin De Bruyne, the best Man City player of the year in one of the best teams of the year. 18 goals and 28 assists in 56 games as a midfielder. You know how crazy that is? He won the Premier League Player of the Season. But also did it for Belgium, which is why he's not higher for me. And he's above Haaland because if there was no KDB this season, Haaland wouldn't have been getting these 20 plus goals in the Premier League.
The only reason I don't have him in my list is because I think he does this all the time. Really
so? What do you mean?
No, because
no,
listen.
Nah, okay,
listen.
you put Mane and kvaratskhelia in front of KDB.
Yes, I have. I completely agree with your statements, but I think...
But that's not how we rank lists.
I know, but listen, it's the impact. The way I've done this is the impact that these players have had. I know this argument makes no sense, but it's just from how I felt looking at those players, these players have surprised me the most, and that's why they're in my list. Anyway, in my number 3, I've got Benzema, Ballon d'Or winner for 2022.
Oh.
39 games with 33 goals, Champions League winner, La Liga winner. I think he deserves to be top 3 100%.
It's a bit different for me. Honestly, this top 3 was so hard for me. I changed it about 10 times. In number 3, I have Mbappe.
What?
I have Mbappe number 3. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No,
yes.
yes.
So,
oh, no.
56 goals, 19 assists in 56 games. That's insane. The most out of anyone in this whole year. He scored a hat-trick in the final. He won the Ligue 1, but he was missing for most of the World Cup, even though he was the top goal scorer. He just didn't win any big trophies. The people above him have won the biggest trophies, and they were the main reason they won those big trophies.
I don't know who you have in 2nd or 1st, but I think you put Mbappe a bit too. I'm interested now to see who you have in 2nd and 1st. But so tell me who's your 2nd, and then I'll tell you what I think.
My number 2 is Karim Benzema, best player of La Liga, best player of the Champions League. Honestly, the craziest Champions League campaign I've ever seen in my lifetime.
100%.
He scored 2 hat-tricks. He had 11 goal contributions in 5 games in the knockout stage.
The way they won each game as well, like in the dying minutes, and it was always Benzema.
It's honestly so close for me because he didn't score as many as my number 1. I'm guessing we all know who my number 1 is. And also the Champions League isn't as big as the World Cup. He's in 2nd.
I know your thought process and it makes sense, but to put Benzema above Mbappe, bro, no. Like if you were talking about 2021, 2022, yeah, sure. But Mbappe's 2022, the stats that you just said are mental, bro. He made the final. He scored a hat-trick in the final. I agree that he goes.
But I understand.
I agree that but you can't put him above. You can't put him Benzema above Mbappe.
If he won the World Cup, he would have been number 2, number 1.
No, because he lost the World Cup, not because he was shit, because his team let him down. You can't.
But he still lost it.
Lad, you can't put Benzema. You can't put Benzema.
No, but he still lost it. I don't care. Benzema Benzema single-handedly won the Champions League.
I agree. And that's why I got him in third. But I think Mbappe's 2022 was better than Benzema's 2021.
What the fuck are you talking about?
My top three, I think it should be everyone's top three. It just makes sense.
No.
Mbappe's
It makes sense statistically.
Mbappe's,
It makes sense
not even statistically. It makes sense like when Mbappe shows up, he shows up. Look at the final. I agree that he ghosted the World Cup, but look at all the games that he's played in the Champions League, in the Liga. I know the Liga isn't the greatest league, but this guy scores, bro.
Does PSG have a better team than Real Madrid?
No. Yes.
Benzema single-handedly
but it's not like Real
Champions
Madrid
League
has a team
for
of shitters,
Real
bro.
Madrid.
It's not like Real Madrid.
Real Madrid also have a good team, but they don't have Messi and Mbappe.
You know
and Neymar
what? Each to their own, but I think Mbappe has been clear of Benzema this year. Drum roll. Who do we have in our number one? Ronaldo. Nah, okay. I think we both have the same player, right?
Yeah, we both have the GOATs, the absolute GOATs.
Messi.
Like, for me, if it wasn't for the World Cup win, he wouldn't have been first. But because he won the World Cup and he had insane stats, he's guaranteed first.
Of course, winning it helps, even if without winning it. I mean, he carried Argentina. He got them to the final. The game versus Mexico, the game versus the Netherlands, it was so fucking like close in the sense that there was no spaces. Messi touches the ball, scores, touches the ball, puts someone through, they score. He carried Argentina. He's having one of the best starts of the year.
For me, Messi's first because he has insane stats and he won the biggest trophy. If Mbappe won the World Cup, he would have been first for me.
No, it wouldn't.
He would have been first for me 100%.
It wouldn't have been first for me.
For me, if Messi didn't win the World Cup, he's not first.
No, he's first, bro. The way he's playing, his stats are amazing. No, that's so tapped, bro. How are you saying that?
No, because Mbappe has better stats. Mbappe has better stats.
Yes, Mbappe has better stats, but he doesn't play as well as Messi. Hence, he's the best
But
player. Hence, he's top one. Hence, he's the best player of 2022, bro.
Yeah, he is. No, he is.
Yeah,
he is,
but
he
like
is.
you can't
But
say.
if he didn't win the World Cup, if he didn't win the World Cup, he wouldn't have been the best player.
This guy, bro.
It's about margins.
But
It's about
I
margins.
agree, but
if you don't win the thing, you
you
can't be counted as a winner.
You can't say that because
Yes, yes, you can.
but like you
Yes,
have
you
to. This
can.
is the top players. We're not talking about who's
Top players.
Yes.
Mbappe had
Yes.
75 goal contributions.
Yes.
in
Okay, but
56 games.
listen, brother. Listen. We're talking about top players of the year, so we have to take into account statistics, the way they influence the team, the way they carry the team, and then trophies. I think for me, trophies is the last thing I look at. The way the player influences the game is it's got to be the first thing. It's gotta be. Yes, bro. It's
obviously it is the first. It is the first thing.
It's
but it's not like Mbappe didn't influence.
No, I
the team.
agree, but I think the way Messi influenced the team is a lot more than Mbappe, and we saw it throughout the whole World Cup. If Argentina had lost the final, I would still put Messi first, 100%.
No,
Messi
no,
carries.
no.
Messi carries. Mbappe carries occasionally.
He won the World Cup, so he's first for both of us.
Bro, so much stink. If you think Messi was the best this year, click this video here.